They're probably gonna watch this video like, "Are you working or are you making a?"
Speaking of work, I gotta make some calls still, but that's all good.
That's how it is.
Game Changers, we are back. End of the season NFL season awards. We are excited to get into this, and this one should be a little controversial, so make sure you check out the entire video. Before we move on, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, continue to follow the page. We give God the glory in every video that we do. We are back. We got my boy Nick, my boy Matt, in the Justin Tucker jersey. Is that right?
Yeah.
Let's go. I love it. I love it.
The goat.
The goat of kicking, which is crazy. So we're going to go through all of the awards, not all the awards, but the main awards that are the end of the season NFL awards. And we're all going to pick who we have, and then we'll discuss it just a little bit. So I'm going to start with, we're going to skip MVP. We'll save that for the end. So I'm going to go backwards. Let's start with Coach of the Year. For me, it came down to the last game of the season, and I'm going DeMeco Ryans. My man is a rookie coach. He takes a team that nobody expected to do anything this year. They wind up winning the division, and they look good. So I'm going DeMeco Ryans. They're my reasons why. I'm going to go Matt first. Matt, who do you got?
It comes down to 3 for me here. There's DeMeco, Dan Campbell, and then John Harbaugh, because I'm a little biased, I guess, but I know he's never won it, and we've had a couple crazy years. I'll give it to Dan Campbell, though, this time around, just to see a new face out there. Similar to your reasoning, not much expectations for the Lions, and they look really good. They won 12 games this year.
They look real good. They could be Super Bowl contenders, which is crazy. So, Nick, who you got?
All right, so Coach of the Year, gotta go with Mike McCarthy.
He's
He's always my answer for 2 years running. But this year, what? He won the division, so I guess I have an answer there. But
are you really going Mike McCarthy?
No. Who do I want to win Coach of the Year? I actually want Dan Campbell to win it because of the points of what Matt said. Yeah. But who do I think is going to win Coach of the Year? I actually think it's going to be Kevin Stefanski. The reason being is because look at all the things that he did there in the playoffs. With how many quarterbacks did they play? The Jets did the same thing, and they barely skated by with like 6 wins or something like that. But Stefanski, his defense was still on point, and he had like 4 different quarterbacks, and like they're 11-6 or something like that. So it's like they did all that with 4 different QBs, and some of them weren't even like top 10 or top 15, but he still did it. So it's like I would say Kevin Stefanski.
Does quarterback play defense?
Quarterback play defense? No.
Okay. All right. DeMeco Ryans. Let's go. All right. Now we're moving on to Defensive Player of the Year. This one, some people might be shocked, but I'm going with it because he broke an NFL record. And when things like that happen, I think I don't think you should 100% win, but I think it should be a strong pull. I'm going DaRon Bland, just the amount of interceptions. And he did it pretty early on. He broke the record pretty early on. I think it was like mid-season or something like that. It was crazy.
Yeah, like week 10, week 12, something.
Yes, I'm going DaRon Bland with this pick. And there are some others that have won prior that should definitely get nominations for this. But I'm going with somebody new, DaRon Bland. Nick, who do you got?
I'm going with someone who was a top pick last year. I'm going Will Anderson. Because what he did on defense, it's like because C.J. Stroud did it on offense, and then you look at Will Anderson.
Defensive Player of the Year.
I know. Yeah. But yeah, sneak peek.
Oh, look at
but Will Anderson, he did what he did on defense.
Okay.
So it's like he had some game-changing plays for the Texans on defense to win some of those games. So I would say, in terms of all the rookies this year, I would say Will Anderson.
All right, so for Defensive Rookie of the Year or Defensive Player of the Year?
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, all right. He's hopping around.
All right.
Matt, who do you got for Defensive Player of the Year?
It comes down to a couple for me. I'll just do an honorable mention first. Roquan Smith. You get the triple crown on defense for Baltimore. Like I think they were first in points allowed, first in I think it was like total yards, and then I'm blanking on the third one, but
I don't know.
It may have been sacks, I want to say. But he's been insane ever since we traded for him from Chicago. He was clearly unhappy there. And I don't want to compare him to any like past Ravens linebackers, but he's probably the best one we've had since Ray Lewis left.
I agree.
And he's just been awesome. He's elevated Patrick Queen to another level. He was probably a bust before Roquan Smith came here. Now he's just making everyone better around him. The stats probably don't show it too much, but he's made just so many plays this year that have just elevated the rest of the defense, and he's been very consistent. My pick though is our division rival Myles Garrett. So
you're not going with Roquan.
No, it's not Roquan.
Oh, okay.
I think he should get considered for it, but I think Myles Garrett overall wins it. Yeah. He's again not statistically, he doesn't lead the league in sacks or anything, so that doesn't always show up on paper. But I'd love to see like the actual percentage on how many times he's getting like double teamed and everything. Yeah. It's at like an Aaron Donald level at this point. I think he still managed to get like 14, 15 sacks this year.
Yeah.
Probably he's forced a bunch of fumbles and all that, but he's just a presence, someone you have to look out for on every single play. And I think it's been a long time coming for him to win the award.
Has he never won?
No,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy. So that's a good pick. If he's never won, that's crazy. And I don't think Roquan Smith has it.
No, definitely not.
Which is crazy.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, linebackers typically don't.
Yeah, my only knock on Myles Garrett is I was looking at his stats. His tackles, he doesn't have a lot of tackles every season. But I agree with Matt where his impact in the game, he always comes up with a sack at the right time. And it shows. Look at Cleveland's record and when they stand in the playoff picture. So awesome. All right, now we're going to get into offensive player of the year. Not rookie. Offensive player of the year. I'm going with... this one hurts too because I think this person should win MVP, but we know it's a quarterback award. So for offensive player of the year, I'm going CMC. My man balled out this year. Look at what the 49ers have done. Obviously, why am I blanking on the quarterback's name?
Brock
Brock Purdy. He's my boy. Why am I blanking? But listen, obviously Brock Purdy gets a lot of credit too, even though he credits a lot to CMC, which is awesome. But again, CMC is kind of like, I mean, he can do it all. He can receive, he can run, and the guy's just amazing. I think he should be the MVP of the NFL, especially because quarterback play has been down this year. But for offensive player of the year, I'm going Christian McCaffrey. Nick, who do you got?
For offensive player of the year,
There we go.
yeah, I would go CMC as well because he has had a touchdown in every single game except for a couple.
I think it was just one, maybe two.
1 and 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about last game, but yeah, at least two.
Yeah, I don't think he played last game.
Yeah, but yeah, he's had a touchdown in every single game except two. Now, here's the thing: is if Tyreek Hill had kept playing, the question would be, would he have gotten over those 2,000 yards?
Yeah.
If he did, then I probably would give it to
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill. But because unfortunately injuries happen, and CMC, to my knowledge, except for the last game, of course, he's played in every single game, and so he's been lighting up the scoreboard. So offensive player, gotta go CMC.
Love it. Matt, who do you got?
You take injuries away, it's either Tyreek Hill or Justin Jefferson, assuming they play the whole year.
Yeah.
They didn't, so McCaffrey. It's easy.
Love it. Straight across the board. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Beautiful. All right, now we're getting into the rookies. Nick was so excited to get into rookies, he jumped the gun, but it's okay. So we're going to do Defensive Rookie of the Year. I'm stealing Nick's thunder, and we're going to skip him because he already talked about talked about Will Anderson. But I'm going Will Anderson as well. I think this year on defense, the rookies is kind of it's down compared to other years. But what Will Anderson did, and he's also the captain of the defense as a rookie. So I think the build, the make of the team of the Texans is pretty interesting this year because they're all young and even the captains are young. So look out for them in the future. Even if they don't win this upcoming weekend, look out. Their future is very bright. So, Matt, who do you got?
I want to say Anderson too. He's definitely up there in the conversation. The other pick is I'll go with Jalen Carter on Philly.
Love it.
Just another half Georgia defense. He's just been awesome this year as a rookie. Just the impact that he's made. He's been better overall than Jordan Davis as well. If you want to kind of compare the linemen, it's a little easier this year I think because like you said, it's not as stacked. Last year defensive rookie of the year could have went a bunch of different ways.
Yep.
I think if Christian Gonzalez doesn't get hurt, he probably wins it this year. But I'll go Jalen Carter this year.
I love it. Jalen Carter's got a little hint, just a little hint. Not a huge comparison, but he does remind me of Aaron Donald a little bit. He's a little bit more undersized, but super powerful and just quick. So we're actually going to go to Nick because he didn't do Defensive Player of the Year. So who do you got there?
Okay, so Will Anderson.
No, he's fired. He's fired.
Right. So I'm gonna go T.J. Watt.
T.J.
Watt because you know what they say. Sometimes the obvious answer is the answer, and he has the stats to prove it.
Yeah.
He's had so many tackles, so many sacks. I think he led the league in sacks this year with 19. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. But yeah, so it's like he's just, and one of the reasons why I think Steelers ain't going to win either is because TJ Watt's not going to be there. So, and if TJ Watt was there, they have a better chance. But that's just it. With TJ Watt on the field, the Steelers always have the best chance.
I like it. Real quick, I love this question. Myles Garrett or TJ Watt if you were to start at team?
Garrett.
I would do Watt.
Like Watt.
I'm by myself. I love Watt, man. I think he's such impactful. This is the true statement though. If you have either, you're golden.
Yeah,
so,
you're good either way.
yeah, you're good either way. So, all right, now we're gonna get into offensive rookie of the year. I think this one is an obvious choice for the NFL, but I don't think it's an obvious choice for the average everyday American because there are some people. You could go either way in two or even maybe three rookies because there's three rookies that come to my mind right off the rip that were just incredible, and they were three different positions too. But for me, it's got to be C.J. Stroud. The NFL loves pushing quarterbacks, and for my man to do what he did with such low scores as the quarterback test, and they ragged on him in the draft process, but then he just came out and balled out. So for me, I got C.J. Stroud. Nick, who you got?
Yeah, it's really tough to go against C.J. Stroud with all the records that he set for breaking the mold for Ohio State QBs.
Yeah.
It's like
go.
nobody really liked Ohio State QBs until now, so
Yeah,
it's
he's
like
incredible.
amazing. But we have to give some love to Puka.
There it is. There's
We
one
have
of
to
them.
give some love to
Yeah.
Puka. I call him Puka, not a fluka,
Look out.
because he was he did break the record for yards or
And receptions.
Yeah, and
Catches,
receptions.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it was an 18 game, so there is a little bit of an asterisk to that, I believe.
17.
17, yeah, sorry, 18 weeks.
18 weeks, yeah.
But yeah, 17 games. So yeah, it wasn't 16 like all the other players in the past did.
Good
So
point.
you could look at that, but at the same time, it's like you can't deny what he did.
Yeah, it was incredible.
But still, I would say C.J. Stroud.
I love it. Matt, who do you got?
Between those two, Stroud's going to win it overall, but honorable mentions are Zay Flowers. I'd probably throw him up there as well. Puka had a better year overall. Laporta's the other guy going to
There
look
it
at
is.
too.
Yeah,
It's
the
Laporta.
last one,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, just just rare numbers that you've seen from a rookie. I don't know how his season compares to Gronk when he first came in the league, but it's got to be at least close, statistically at least.
He led the league for tight ends this year.
Yeah.
For touchdowns for tight ends.
Touchdowns,
Touchdowns for
And
tight
fantasy
ends.
for
And
those of you that watch or participate in, not watch, but participate in fantasy, he was the top tight end this year, which is crazy. So, as a rookie, just wild. Just wild. So, all right, now we're getting to the big one, the NFL MVP of the season. Again, this is a quarterback award, as much as it pains me to say, because I'm a fan of, I've talked about it in previous years and previous videos, that if somebody completely balls out, it shouldn't be a quarterback award. Well, who was the last person to win it that wasn't a quarterback? Was it Adrian Peterson?
Probably Peterson.
It was Peterson.
What was it,
Back in
2012?
2012, 2013. Yeah,
It's
2012.
insane. It's insane. So yeah, we're looking at a decade ago. It's just crazy, and especially this year that quarterback play has not been as good. So again, my heart says CMC, but my head says it's going to be a quarterback, and the quarterback should be.
This guy, right?
He's the kicker.
Probably Lamar.
But yeah, I'm going Lamar Jackson, and I think he really proved it at the end of the year when they played the Cowboys. He just cooked, and that was an embarrassing game too. What was the score of that game?
Did you play Dallas this year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did, didn't you?
The Ravens? No, they
the
played the
Niners?
Niners. They cooked
Oh,
the
the
Niners.
Niners.
Yeah, that's
They
right.
cooked the
Yeah,
Niners
yeah,
on
yeah.
Christmas
That's
Day.
what I'm thinking
yeah.
of, the Niners.
On Monday
And
night,
then
Christmas
Dak, I
Day,
think. Yeah, I'm totally off. So it was Brock Purdy. That's what it was. It was
That
Brock
lost
Purdy.
you your league that
Yeah,
day.
that's why I forgot about it. I lost my league that day. Just unbelievable. But yeah, I'm going. I'm definitely going Lamar Jackson because at that time they were talking about, is it Brock Purdy, is it Lamar? And they just cooked the 49ers. Brock looked terrible, and I think everybody agrees he just dipped off the radar after that. Lamar, that's what really elevated him. My reason why it's not Dak, because he's another one that they could go with, is because Lamar's record and what he's done against teams that have winning records is just incredible, and I think Lamar gets his second MVP. Nick, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going to say Lamar as well, but I say all that to say I definitely think CMC should be the MVP this year.
Yeah.
Because it's like with everything that he's done as a running back, it's like so many touchdowns, so many yards. It's like you would say that like he was the focal point of that offense. But again, it's a QB award like for the past 12 years or so.
Yeah.
So it's like Lamar, you're right. He has done great against good teams, and his numbers prove it. So I'm going to say Lamar.
Yep. Who do you got?
Mahomes threw a lot of picks that weren't necessarily his fault. Josh Allen threw a good amount of picks, so Allen's got to be in the conversation too. Dak also had an awesome year with Dallas. Yeah, I mean, if I gave it to anyone, it probably. I mean, McCaffrey was pretty invaluable to that team.
Yeah.
I don't know how many games, but at the same time, if Lamar's not in the Ravens, I don't think we're winning. We might win if Huntley was in there, we're winning like 6 or 7 games. So
Yeah.
I think overall, what did solidify it is beating Miami. It's beating the Niners. It's the fact that like all our losses this year were just because we collapsed in the fourth quarter. So you're looking at a potential perfect season if we don't just mess everything up in Baltimore in the fourth quarter. So it's got to be Lamar. I think 2019 he had a better year than he did this year, but this does feel like 2019 again, where we're just almost like blowing teams out that are good, and you're expecting a good matchup, and then they run into Baltimore and we're running right through them. So I think he was more electric in 2019 just because he ran a little more, but now he's kind of proving that hey, he's I don't know what the word is, like everyone like always calls him a running back and everything, but he's about to join. I think there are only like less than 10 guys that have ever won multiple MVPs, so it's got to be Lamar. Yeah.
So got a question for you both. If the Niners beat the Ravens on Christmas, would CMC be in the running for MVP instead of Lamar?
Who do you got?
Me? I think so. I think he's in the running either way. Honestly, I think Lamar still takes it overall. But yeah, I don't know if like it's still ultimately a team effort. The Ravens defense was very good that game. I don't remember how much of an impact McCaffrey had. If he had some like crazy 3-touchdown game against like a titan of the NFL like Baltimore, or against Philly, like where Deebo Samuel was kind of the star. If you just like place it in bigger games, I guess, then he has more of an argument. But I don't think it would have changed it ultimately.
Yeah, I don't think it would have changed it either. I think I got the raspy voice now. Look out, sound like Macy Gray. But I think there would have been more pressure on the NFL. But I agree. I don't think it would have changed. I think Lamar still would have won. But I think going into the offseason, there'd be a lot more pressure on a non-quarterback winning the following year. So that's where we're at. So, my lordy, I apologize. I've been sick all week, so I'm going to sound like Macy Gray sometimes. But anyway, that's it for the picks. Guys, thank you so much for checking out the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, continue to follow the page. We give God the glory in every video that we do. And listen, we're always going to come back every year just with more sports takes and things of that nature. Let us know in the comments, too, things that you would like to see do more. And we will make sure to add it to the repertoire, if I can use that word. So, yeah, we're getting big. Look out. So. All right, God bless you all. Catch you on the next video.